Text formatting with fonts. So fonts is an interesting control introduced in CS. Fonts. Fonts is an interesting control provided by CSS. Now, if you look at the screen, we have this H1, H3 component created, its elements of types heading 1 and heading 3 with some text inside it. For example, the H1 appears to be very much larger than H3, which is the natural state of its font size in case of the headings in HTML. However, you can also override these sizes by controlling the font size attribute in CSS. So for the H3 element over here, I've introduced this style called font size, which has instantly increased the size of my fonts for that H3 element, and it looks exactly as large as the H1 type element. Now let's say we are also going to try to control the font size with various other settings. The ones available are large, larger, medium, small, smaller, and you can try them out as you want. But the best part is you can also set a font size based on pixels. So I can make this as large as I want and I can play with the settings. Mind it, this is not me zooming in the document. This is actually the font size which has grown this way. So for whatever effect you need it, you can set your custom font size. For now, I'm registering to it its own size, that is extra large. Also, you can set custom fonts, that is by using the font family setting in over here. So the font family can be set to any font that is available. The only caveat here, or the only thing you should remember, is only the fonts which are available on the very system, that is the computer or the phone which you're using, is having the font installed on them. So if you're setting some font which is available only on Apple computers, the font won't be visible on the other systems or other phones which are not having that particular font. The workaround for that is number one, you can set in a fallback font. So, for example, there is a font known as Klingon. And let's say that font is not available, which it is not, and therefore it's not loading in over here. So I introduce one more font name separated by a comma, and in this case it is Verdana. So automatically it takes up the font of Verdana, which is a font of choice in case the first font is not available. You can apply this trick and check it out on different operating systems, and that is very helpful. The second way out of it is having a forced download of the font. So, for example, over here, I want to have a Google link font, which is available on Google for free of cost. It's called a font called Audio Wide, and I'm going to use this font. The way to import it is you have to provide the link for it, just like you attach any other external style sheet. You need to apply this particular link for the style sheet and include the hyperlink for the file. It could be a remote CDN or it could be a local file stored on your computer. In this case, I have used a remote CDN which is on Google, and now I'm going to change the font name to Audio Wide. And as you can see, this font is now available and it has been set, and it looks completely different. Now, what if the import wasn't made? It automatically takes up the next font in the line that has been given. This is known as fallback, or you can call it a backup technique. Let's restore this back to our available font, audio font, because it just looks nice. Now, in fonts, you also have other settings such as being able to control the style of the font, like make it italic or make it bold. So, all the font styles which can be set using plain HTML elements such as bold and italic can be done through CSS also for a non-bold or italic element, and you can apply it to entire set of characters. So, let's say I use normal, which can force it to be just normal. By default, it is set to normal. Italic is, of course, the slanting one. Then you also have oblique. Oblique is also same as italic. It is just a slanting font. So for now, I'll just leave it to oblique and move on to the next explanation. Similarly, we have a setting known as font weight. Now, since that is a heading, it would be difficult to read the exact output. We are going to apply it to the paragraph. The paragraph P2 over here with the class P2, that is this particular paragraph over here, we had already played with this while learning more about text formatting. Let's try to apply some font settings here. So what if I want to make the font slightly thicker? We have this particular attribute known as font weight. By default, it has a numbering system to follow, and you can use the number of the weight that has to be put on it, or you can simply use bold, bolder, and light. See, the moment I apply bolder, it becomes much thicker. I can also make it lighter, normal, and you see this appears much more thinner.